Hi there, Bike Tom again. Going to do you a little video on ration pack that I've put together. This is 1 day supply and I'll just run you through it. This isn't an MRE, this is just a ration pack put together that you'll have to rehydrate. So we'll start off with this bag here. This is full of Swiss style muesli. There's 200 grams here, which is loads, and into that I mix a portion of hot chocolate. So all I have to do is add water to that, and that gives me over 700 calories. And then one of these sachets, which is a 2-in-1, so it's a coffee with milk, they're about 50 calories. So that is a really big breakfast, which will get you going. Obviously when you boil your water, you do enough for this and enough for that. Lunchtime over here, these are just a simple noodle, instant noodle, so you can do it quickly. When you're on the trail, you'll need to get your stove out, but if you store that at the top of your sack, then you shouldn't have any problems. And then I've got a high energy drink here, which you can have hot or cold depending on what your preference is and on the conditions that you're travelling in. That's something really quick, so you can get going. Then these are just additional snacks, so you can have these when you want, but I tend to need mine in the afternoon. So we've got two types of bar here. They also do a trail mix bar as well, which you might want to try. And then this is it's 0 sugar, but it's just basically a caffeine tablet that tastes all right, which you can add in, have that if you need it. If you get a little bit dehydrated, you can get a headache, and sometimes that will help. And then the main meal, I found these bean feasts bolognese. So it's basically a soya flour mix to make it look like a bolognese sauce. But these things, that packet there has got 700 calories in it, just that. I've tried it, it tastes good. You can even add some couscous into it if you wanted to, some plain couscous, and you could make a massive meal for that. That probably you could have up to 900 calories probably just in one meal. And then for dessert, this is a citrus or whatever flavoured energy gel that you choose. You can have boiled sweets instead or whatever you want for that, but I like those. And then I've got two sachets of the coffee, one to have with your meal and then one to have before you go to bed to keep you nice and warm. Now with this meal I found some other things to swap out with. So I found these almost instant couscouses in various different flavours. These are all cheap, of course, being my video they're going to be cheap. I'll run you through prices in a moment, but these have got 350 odd calories in per meal, so not as much as the bean feast, but again you could cut this up and mix it with the two if you felt you wanted to. I've also found these, which are Vesta meals, and there's a paella, there's a beef curry, and we've got risotto. And essentially what these are, I'll go for this one up, are 2 packets, one of rice and one which is the main course. Now with all of these meals, these ones and the bean feast, they're telling you that you boil half a litre or so of water and then simmer it for 15 minutes. But instead of that, what I do, I've got a container here. This is a 1 litre tub, and the whole kit, the whole day's rations go into a Ziploc bag. So by the end of the day, I've eaten through all of this stuff here and left just the rubbish behind, which will be in the bag. So at the end of the day, this is a food safe Ziploc bag that will go into this container along with whatever my main meal is. The water gets added, stirred up, and then I put the whole lot into my insulated pack. There's videos on how to make that, but essentially it's a reflective foil, and in between the layers I put bubble wrap, and then you leave that. I leave it for 20 minutes, which is longer than they recommend if you're going to simmer these, but 20 minutes seems to be just about enough time, as long as you stir it really well to start off with. If you haven't got a cosy, get your tub, wrap it into your sleeping bag, put it onto your sleep mat, wrap it up, just keep it insulated, and 20 minutes later you've got yourself a really good meal. This whole day's ration here So we're including the bean feast as your main meal, but without any added couscous. I've worked out at over 2,100 calories. So that should be loads. That should be enough to keep you going. And you can obviously swap about and change what you don't like. But the idea of putting this together was MREs, proper military style ration packs. They do contain more calories than this, but they cost about £25 a day. Now admittedly you can eat those cold and they're ready to go and all that sort of stuff, but to give you an idea of cost, obviously that's less than £1, isn't it, to make that up. These things here, well, I got these were 30 pence each. These come fairly cheap, they're about £1, but you can swap that out with something else. These bars cost me £1.20 for 6, I think. They're not very much, those. And now the coffees, they worked out at 23 odd pence each when you buy them in a packet. This was £1.05, and you can see all of these meals, these were 79p each, and these were about £1. So I've done it quite inexpensively. You'll get change from a £5 for your whole day, which is much better, I think. So that's the way I do it. And you can obviously package it all up nice and tight, keep them ready to go. If you label them up with the contents, you can decide what you want to eat on what day. I think it works really well, but I'd be interested to hear any other good ideas, but it's got to be cheap.